Welcome everyone to this masterclass conducted by Dr. Graeme Ford. My name's David Jukes. I'm on the executive committee of the Australia-China Alumni Association, which runs this literature community, and some of you are members of that literature community and translation community. So we welcome you. And some of you participated in the first masterclass, so it's great to see you back again. Before I'll say a few words about Graeme. Graeme is an old tongxue of mine. So we went to Sydney University and studied Chinese there together in the 70s. And Graeme went on to study and teach in China and has had a long career teaching Chinese in Sydney at universities and at other institutions. And he also did his PhD in Ming Dynasty and the Ming Dynasty Official Translation Bureau at Macquarie University. Before we go on to the class, I'd just like to say a few words. You might have seen in the group, I've mentioned the Australia-China Alumni Awards networking celebration. So the awards are something that ACAA holds every year. And this year, because of COVID, we're going to do it in 8 cities and also online. So Graeme will be present at the Sydney event. All the celebrations will be held on the 27th of November. That's a Saturday. Some at lunchtime, some at dinner. Sydney's will be a dinner event. So if you're interested to join, you can just register online. I think we've put the link in the group, but if you go to the ACAA website, you can see where to register and where the events are being held and what each event costs and so on. So for those of you in Sydney, it's a good chance to meet Graeme in person. And also there'll be many eminent sinologists who will be present there, many people who are important in the Australia-China education relationship at all of the events. So it's a really good chance to find out what's happening in the space. So I think now we'll go over to Graeme and we'll start the class. Graeme.
Okay then. All right, well, hello everybody, and Tammy's going to put our little text up on the screen in a minute, and we'll sort of look at that. I think you've probably got a copy of the text of yourself by now. So yeah, I'm very interested in translating, and it's very fascinating for us translators to be able to compare Chinese and English grammar and sort of, derive some insights from that. I guess you've heard about M.A.K. Halliday, who wrote the great functional grammar. M.A.K. Halliday also learned Chinese, and it was through the study of Chinese that he gained many of his insights about English grammar. So anyway, we're going to come back and talk about grammar in a little while and quickly revise what we did last week. But before we go on, I'd just like to say a little bit to you about the subject of register. And you can see on the screen there, I've got high and low register. Now we talk about register in language, and I'm going to try to show you how you can sort of understand register. One of the problems with translating is that translators often use too many high register words, and they don't use enough low register words. And we can sort of understand how that happens. So we have a look at the history of the English language here, and you can see a little map of Europe. And if we go back, to, I don't know, well, let's go back to say about 100 BC. You can see, well, in the middle of the map, you can see there France, you can see England and Ireland up to the north, and you can see Italy down here to the south. Now, Italy was already part of the Roman Empire, but all of France and England were still Celtic, and the language they spoke was a type of Gaelic. So you see those are the two base, that's the base language of our modern language. So here in 55 BC, Julius Caesar invades Britannia, and the Roman Empire sort of extends to sort of take over France and Spain, and then in 55 BC cross the Channel, and sort of England became part of the Roman Empire. Not Scotland and not Ireland, but England. So from about 55 BC on, Latin became the language, the main language in England. The common people speaking their Celtic or Gaelic, and the administrative ruling class speaking Latin. So that went on for a very long time. 350 years is a long time, 400 years. But then, of course, the Roman Empire began to shrink. And as you can see, at 350 AD, the Roman army withdraws from Britain. They can no longer afford to garrison that place any longer. And when that happened, the great migration of the Angles and Saxons began. Now, if you look on your little map there, you can see France, and then above France, you can see Belgium. And above that, you can see like the Netherlands. And then a little bit further on, there's sort of Denmark and North Germany. These were the areas that they migrated from, across the sea in their boats, and they they brought their language with them. So they called it Angleland, which is what, of course, England is. And they brought their beautiful Anglo-Saxon language with them. And Anglo-Saxon became the main language of England for a very long time. If you've seen the movies, The Lord of the Rings, that shows you a little bit about what Anglo-Saxon culture was like. You know, these beautiful sort of little buildings, these lovely illustrated manuscripts, things like that. They had here's a little bit of Anglo-Saxon for you to have a look at, just so that you can see what it's like. Just scroll up a little bit there, Tammy, so we can see the English bit below. You see, this is a little bit of Anglo-Saxon from the Bible, and this is where I suppose Jesus must be preaching. And have a look at the English text first. He says, "All they that this my word heareth and worketh beeth like the wise man who his house upon rock built. There came their rain and great flood, and there blew winds and a roared on that house, and it did not fall. Truly, it was upon rock built." Now, that's the little sort of, have a look at the Anglo-Saxon there, you see? See that, the first word there, alk? See the second word, vara. See that little sign? That's a TH, that's called thorn. So every time that is, it's going to be like a TH. Alk vara there, this main word, geheereth, and the wirketh, be it gelijk dam wezen were, say his hoes of a staan getimberd. Daar came their regen, and mickle flood, and their blowing windes, and the roeren on that hoes, and it neen foul, zoetlik it was of a staan getimberd. So you can sort of understand that, can't you? You see? You see that his house, his house, of course, his house of a stan, of course, is stone. Look at this word, getimbrod. That's like our modern word, timber, for building material, and so on. So, yeah, this is Anglo-Saxon, and it forms the basis of our modern language. So we just scroll up a little bit again now. We come down to 1066. This is a terrible, catastrophic event in English history, because this is when William the Conqueror of France invades and conquers England. Now, he sort of conquered England totally. He went in and sort of slaughtered the aristocracy, you know, slaughtered the Anglo-Saxon aristocracy, and enslaved, you know, the common people into serfdom. So now the thing is that he was a French speaker, and he installed a French-speaking, administration. And the King of France, France was used by the ruling aristocracy until 1350 AD. So we had three languages there. We had Latin that was used in the churches and universities. There was French that was used by the ruling aristocracy. It's a very long time. That's 300 years before the king began to speak English. And then there was Anglo-Saxon that was used by the common people. Now, the bottom two are the most important, French and Anglo-Saxon. You can see what it would be like if we were in an Anglo-Saxon family, but our parents spoke Anglo-Saxon, we spoke Anglo-Saxon with them, but our parents wanted us, to get a job, up in the castle. So we would learn French, of course. The kids, you see, the young educated kids would be speaking French, and then they'd be speaking French at work. And when they come home, they'd be speaking Anglo-Saxon with their mum and dad. And if they went out for dinner with their work colleagues, well, they'd probably speak French. You know what I mean? Very likely. So these two languages became mixed. So we just scroll up to the next little bit there now, Tammy. So modern English is a Creole or mixed language, which has low register Anglo-Saxon words and high register French words and academic register Latin words. So this is how we can understand the register. Have a look there, there's a few little examples. You see the first one? We start from the bottom with Anglo-Saxon, boat, French word, vessel, and then for things to do with the sea, navigation, the Latin word. Same thing with the next one. You have the Anglo-Saxon word cow, you have the French word beef, or bœuf, and then in Latin you use the word bovine. You can see these ones are sort of academic register. The next one is the same thing. You see, for a dog, in Anglo-Saxon you have hound, hund. Here in French, you've got the words dog and bitch, which are used for dogs. And then up in the Latin register, you've got words like canine. Here's a funny one. Down below in the Anglo-Saxon register, you've got guts. I've got a pain in my guts. Here in the French register, which is slightly more high, is stomach. I have a pain in my stomach. And then, of course, up at the top in the Latin register, you've got words like gastro, like gastroenteritis, and so on and so forth. Here we've got love, which is Anglo-Saxon. Here we've got amour, which is French. And then you've got a very similar word, amor, which is Latin up the top. Down for our last one here, you've got the Anglo-Saxon word horse. Here in the French word, you've got words like chevalier and chivalry and so on. And then up in the Latin register, you've got words like equestrian and so on, which belong to Latin. So we've always got these three levels. And usually we've got a choice between the upper level and lower level. When they're presented in the dictionary, they always present the high register one first, and then the Anglo-Saxon one second, so they'd say, chuan, vessel, boat, so people tend to always learn the first one. They always learn the high register one and are less familiar with using the low register one. So what I want to say to you is just to have that in mind as we go on, and we'll see some good examples of it. When you make a translation from Chinese into English, the translation is what you might call an artificial thing. You know what I mean? It's an artificial text. It's not a real text. The original Chinese text is a real text. It comes out of the author's mind and so on. But then, as translators, through our artifice and our craft and everything, we create a text. This is an artificial text. Now, it's best that the artificial text be as plain as possible. You know what I mean? It should be plain. It should be exact, but it should be very plain. You should sort of go for a sort of what you might call 翻译白话, a plain translating language. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's just have a quick look at the review of our tutorial that we did before. What I was talking about were these prepositional phrases, which are so important to our understanding of the comparative grammar. For example, we looked at this sentence. I went to the city by train with my daughter on Sunday. Now you can see all those prepositional phrases, isn't it? You see the verb there, I went. Now you've got to the city by train with my daughter on the Sunday. And the last one, the prepositional phrase, and it's also the time phrase that goes at the end. And then you might have a subordinate phrase. I went to the city by train with my daughter on Sunday because she wanted to buy a handbag, right? So you look at these sentences in Chinese. The first one, I went to the city by train with my daughter on Sunday. In Chinese, we start with the time phrase, don't we? 星期日，我陪我女儿坐火车去城里. So it goes back in the other direction. It goes from back to the front. If you put the subordinate phrase on, it's the same. You see, 由于他想买手提包，星期日我陪我女儿坐火车去城里. So in Chinese, it goes completely back the other way. So in Chinese, you have the subordinate phrase first, then the time phrase, the subject, the prepositional phrase, however many there are, then the verb. In English, it's all the other way around. Subject, verb, object, prepositional phrase, time phrase, subordinate phrase. So this is very interesting to us. Now, let's apply these principles to our first little text there that we've got. So this is something from a little book, looks like a little academic sort of paper, studying, the water supply problems in ancient times in Beijing. What it says, Beijing to 水资源问题, I suppose something like, what is it, Beijing's water resource problems or something. So just have a quick look at that first little sentence there. 一个城市的产生和发展，自然环境起着很大的作用，其中包括气候条件、水资源等方面的因素. All right, so let's have a look now. Who's going to have first go? Serena, are you there, Serena?
Yes, I'm here.
Come on, you have a go at this one for us.
What?
So you want to start with the subject.
Subject. I'm a little taken aback because this is a pretty long sentence.
Well, start with 自然环境, isn't it? The natural environment.
Okay. I thought the natural environment has a great impact on the city's generation and development. It may include the weather conditions, water resources, etc.
Into maybe factors. Factors might be the word.
Factors. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not very happy with this. I think I have to rearrange it.
All right. Well, you'll have a look at it this way. You got it mostly right. Now, the first part is the subordinate phrase. So we start here with 自然环境, the natural environment. Now, we've got 其中包括气候条件、水资源等方面的因素. We want to put that in all as part of the subject. So the natural environment, including, what's that? 气候条件. Come on, Serena.
Okay, the natural environment, including weather conditions, water resource, etc. factors.
That's right. Now we've got this done here, so we're going to go backwards. We want to say, which includes factors such as, right, climate conditions and water resources, weather conditions, is it? Or climate conditions, 气候, weather, I suppose, isn't it? 天气, yeah. So weather conditions and water resources. See this 其中? What about 其? Serena, what do you think that might be?
They play a very important role.
Yeah, I think chi is something like which, isn't it? Which includes. So we're going to say the natural environment, which includes factors such as weather conditions and water resources, plays a big role in the birth and growth of a city. All right, you get the idea? See that word there, fajan. Now, fajan, we usually say development, right? Now, here's a good example. Development is the French word. Go down to the Anglo-Saxon register and have growth. You see, the growth is an alternative to development. So come on, you say it with me, everybody, all at the same time. You ready? Come on. The natural environment. Off we go. The natural environment, which includes weather factors, isn't it, such as weather conditions and water resources, plays a big part in the birth and growth of a city. All right, that's pretty good. Let's go over to Jamie. You can have a go now.
I'm only a beginner learner of Chinese. So I'm not
Oh,
sure
okay
what
then. Well, you have a
are.
little rest. You have a little rest then. What about Max? Are you up to having a go at this?
I'll give it a try. I don't know how accurate I can be though. So the earliest cities are all like on fertile land with a moderate climate,
Very good.
and also with like plentiful rainfall.
Yes.
They develop as a result of being next to, or like in the zone of like a coastal,
Rivers.
like a coastal area.
Well, you're doing very well, I'd say. So you got the first part right, isn't it? The first cities, or the earliest cities, isn't it?
Yep.
Now that's the subject. Now the next thing in English has got to be the verb, right? So
Right.
zoom along to the end now and find the verb. Where is it?
So develop.
Fajan Shilai, yeah. Let's not say developed here because we've got Shilai. Let's say grew up. Eh?
Okay.
So
Yep.
the first cities grew up. Now we go backwards. Now we move our way backwards, you see? Yen Herdadi Day.
So that's like a coastal region, a coastal zone.
They're actually the tracts or the regions along the rivers, you see?
Right, okay.
Yeah. In regions along rivers where...
Well, there's lots of rainfall.
Well, go up to Chihol first, where the climate... Oh, no, go up to where the 2D.
So whether there's fertile soil.
Where the soils were fertile.
Whether the climate is moderate.
Was moderate, and...
The rainfall is like plentiful.
Plentiful, that's right. Now change your verb to the past tense to was. Come on, you say it with me now, Max. The first cities.
Okay, the first cities.
Grew up. In, let's say, areas along rivers.
In areas along rivers.
Where.
The
soil was fertile.
The soil was fertile.
The climate was moderate.
The climate was moderate.
That's right, and
the rainfall was plentiful.
Plentiful, that's exactly the right word. Yep. Very good. Okay, let's go on to the next one then.
So, the first city in
Beijing.
The first city in Beijing, yep. And is that meant? It's the two dots.
I think it's pronounced J-I.
Right. Yep. So it appeared nearby Yongdinghe and Gurukou.
Well, Gurukou is also a place name, but here I think we'll say it grew up near the ancient river crossing You see, the ancient
Okay.
crossing on the Yongding River.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So you see if you can say it for me like that.
So from the beginning of
Yeah,
that
from
phrase.
Beijing Zhuichu. Yeah.
So the first C in Beijing, called Qi,
Yes.
appeared nearby the ancient river crossing on the Yongding River.
That's good. Now you see how we're sort of moving backwards all
Yep.
the time here. Just a quick word to everybody before we go. Beijing 最初的城市, right? Now, I think we should start with the word Ji here. Ji, the first city or the earliest city at Beijing. Let's use the word here at, which is very useful. Grew up, that's right. Oh no, it appeared, that's what you said, near the ancient river crossing on the Yongding River. Very well done. Okay, well, let's try somebody else now. I'll just scroll down here and get some more of our friends to join. Adelaide, why don't you have a go at the next little bit for us? Can you hear me there, Adelaide?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, good. Come on, you have a try at this next sentence for us.
Okay, I rendered this sentence in this way. Over Chinese history, it has been growing into the authority center from a prime residency pocket.
Yes, very good.
Through generations, a few ancient Chinese dynasties settled power there.
Very good. Very well done. Just go back again and just say it again for us slowly and clearly.
Okay. Over Chinese history, it has been growing into the authority center from a primal residency pocket. I learned this word pocket when I translate a book. It talk about the oil supplies, and before I only know this word pocket, like
Put something in your pocket.
Yeah. We put something in pocket, but actually this word also have very important meaning. Let me read for
Not
people.
now. We'll come back to that later on. Just keep on going on to the end of the sentence now.
Okay, I love to do. Okay, however, no. Let me continue.
Yeah.
From a primal residency pocket through generations, a few ancient Chinese dynasties settled power there. However,
yes, now that's good. You stop there now. All right,
okay.
now what I want you to do is to see 经过一个漫长的历史经过, leave that to later. That's a subordinated phrase. Here's the subject, Beijing. So we're going to start there. We're going to say Beijing. Now we have to go and find the verb. Where is the verb? Beijing, Fajan, isn't it? Fajan. So Beijing grew. Now we go back to Yo. It grew from what is it? A primitive settlement, and then we go Chengwei into the ruling center of the country, and now we go back to the time phrase through a long historical process. Okay, so you try and say it with me like that. We start with Beijing.
Okay, Beijing has been growing into.
Use the simple past. Grew. Beijing grew.
Okay, sorry. Beijing grew into
grew from.
All right. Oh, okay. Let me say it again. Beijing grew from primary settlement
Yes.
into the state center, the rule center.
Yes, the ruling center, I think, of the country. Yes. Now
Okay,
we
the
go
root-
to Jingguo, through.
Through generations, a
No,
few
through a long
through long history
process.
process. Thank you.
That's it, yeah. Now, history, use the adjective form historical. You understand that, don't you? A
Yeah, I
long
see.
historical process. All right, so that's how we're going to do it.
May I ask what the difference if I use over historical process or through historical process, which preposition word
I would
should-
choose through. I would choose through as the first one, yeah. Now, look at the next bit. 后来陆陆续续有不少封建王朝建都于此. Now, once again, the subject we've got is, what is it? 不少封建王朝, isn't it? And many, what is it, feudal dynasties built capitals there, or later, we'll have to put at the beginning this time. Later, many feudal dynasties built capitals there, one after the other. Lu Lu Shu Shu. You see that? One after the other. Now, this one after the other in this sentence stands in the adverbial position. You see, it goes with the verb. They built them there, one after the other. But in English, we change those adverbs into adjectives, you see? So we say later, one feudal dynasty after another built capitals there. Do you understand that? Come on, you say that with me. Later.
Okay, later
one feudal dynasty after another.
One feudal dynasty after another build capitals there. Here.
Very well done. That sounded absolutely fantastic. Is Dr. Zoe Ma there?
Yes.
You want to do the next bit for us, Dr. Ma?
Oh my God, it's very challenging. Let me try it, okay?
Oh no, everyone's doing extremely well. I'm very impressed.
However, the natural conditions of Beijing area was not very beneficial to the development of the city.
Very good.
With the expansion of the city's scale,
Yes.
and in the growth or increase of the population of the city,
Hey.
and the resource or source.
I think resource is a good word here.
The water resources of Beijing becomes a serious problem.
Yes, that's right. What about this 日益?
Where is it? 日益.
The second to last words.
How to say? Increasingly.
Something like that. Yeah, that's right. Increasingly. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty good, Zoe. So let's go back to that runner again.
Yeah.
So,
however,
runner, so where's our subject here? Runner, Beijing 地区自然条件. That's the subject, isn't it? The natural conditions.
Yes.
Then we go to the end for the verb, isn't it? Natural conditions, 不是十分有利的, were not completely, what's the word here? Beneficial, you said. Let's stick with beneficial until we think of something better. That's too high register. We've got to think of a low register word for that. Anyway, the natural conditions, sorry, it's got to be the natural conditions in the Beijing area. Yeah, that's right. We're not completely suitable, we'll say, for the development
of the city.
That's right. Let's keep to growth for the time being, for the growth of the city. Now, the next bit, Suija, blah, 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 blah. This is a subordinated phrase there.
So the water resources of the city. Yeah.
Yes. So
So the water
subject is-
resources of Beijing. Oh,
yes, the water resource problems.
sorry, it's the MacBook. So the water resources of Beijing city.
No, like
Um,
this. Go to
oh.
资源问题，水资源问题
So the water resources
problems in
problems in Beijing city,
in Beijing, in the city of Beijing,
in the city of Beijing,
became
more
serious
serious
as
as
随着
as the expansion of the city scale, the increase the growth of the population.
Very good. Now, these
This
little
city.
subordinate phrases, have a careful look at them. 随着城市规模的不断扩大. So as the city 扩大, what's that? It's expanded, isn't it?
Yeah,
Expanded.
expanded, yes.
And then 规模. In
The scale, not
size.
right?
In size.
The size.
Yes.
Simple word is better.
I think so. Scale is too high. That's
Yeah.
right. As the city expanded in size and the city's population
grow.
Yes, increase, maybe we could say here.
Increase.
What about 不断?
Also, I think 不断 is constantly.
Constantly, continuously, something like that. Yeah. Now, what I want to do is just let everybody have a quick look at those words. 不断扩大, 不断增加. The high register words are things like constantly, continuously, continued. So as the city continued to expand in size and the population continued to increase. All right. Now, continued is the high register word. It's the French register word. Can you think of what the Anglo-Saxon register is? The Anglo-Saxon register is keep, kept, you see? As the city kept expanding in size. You've heard that, haven't you? And the population kept growing, you see?
Kept.
Yes, you see how nice those Anglo-Saxon words sound? They're very beautiful. So we'll say something like, and the water resource problems in the city of Beijing became more serious as the city kept expanding in size and the population kept growing. Yeah. You see how, all right, that's pretty good. Okay, we've finished that one. Come on, let's just, everybody, quickly go back to the beginning and you see if you can say it through with me. You ready to go? We'll just do a little sight translation. Remember where we start now? 自然, isn't it? The natural environment. You ready to go? Who's somebody there? Wenhua, are you there? Is Wenhua there? Can't hear Wenhua. What about you, Nilu? Nilu? Can you hear me? Can't get through. What about Yinghu? Is Yinghu there? Yinghu, are you there?
Are you calling me? I'm on the letter Yinghu.
No, I'm calling Yinghu.
Okay.
But she's not answering me, so too bad. Come on, we go back to you again, Max. Do you want to have a go with me?
Yep, sure.
Let's go right from the beginning. The natural environment,
natural environment,
which includes, come on, you keep going. Don't wait for me.
okay,
Which
which
includes,
includes the climate
let's both say it at the
condition.
same time, hey? Which includes
Yep,
factors
which includes the factors such as water,
such as climate conditions,
such as climate conditions
and water
water resources
plays a big part.
Plays a big part in the development and creation of
Stick to the
city.
Chinese word order there in the birth and growth
of the city.
Of a city. That's very good. Let's carry on now.
Yep.
So the first cities.
So the first cities grew up
along in areas along rivers.
In areas along rivers with fertile, where the land is,
where the soil. That's right. The 2D, the soil.
Where the soil is fertile or was fertile.
You're quite right. It's not soil. It's land. Yes, the land was fertile. Quite right. Yes, we want to be very exact here. Where the land was fertile.
Where the land was fertile, the climate was moderate,
and
the rainfall was plentiful.
And G, come on, we do it together. And G.
And T was
the first city
at Beijing, which
it appeared
near the ancient river crossing at the Yongting River.
On the Yongting River.
On the Yongting River.
Yeah. Yep. Very good. Well done. Come on, we might as well keep going. So that's a subordinate phrase there. We find the subject Beijing, isn't it? Beijing.
Yep. So Beijing from the early...
Now go to your verb next. Fajian. Beijing grew.
Beijing grew from... Where's Fajian?
Primitive settlement.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Grew from a primitive settlement to a... do I start from equal?
No, you start from that comes later, to the ruling center.
Okay. So to the ruling center of the
country.
The country, yep.
And then you go back to Jingguo, through a long
historical process.
Yes, that's right. And later.
Yep. And later through was it countless?
No, let's say one feudal dynasty after another.
Okay, one feudal dynasty after another. It was built.
Built capitals there.
Okay, built capitals there.
You know that word do there is the capital. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, you're doing very well. Carry on, runner.
So, and then,
however,
Beijing.
No, that comes later. Go down to Zhiran Tiaojian, the natural conditions.
So the natural conditions
in the Beijing area.
In the Beijing area were not without.
Were not very suitable, we'll say.
Right, were not very suitable
for the
I sort of got lost for the something. Oh, for the development of the city.
Yes, very good. And
the scale of the city.
Now that comes later. Go right down here. 水资源问题, water resource problems.
Yep. So the water resource problems became increasingly
Serious.
Serious. Yep.
Now you go up to
And-
睡着 as.
So, so the Beijing water resource problem became increasingly serious as the scale of the city kept increasing and the
No,
population.
you got the wrong subject there. It's 城市规模 as the city grew in size. 规模 is a little
Okay.
prepositional phrase, you see.
Yep. So as the city grew in size and the
That's it.
population also increased.
Okay, let's put in our kept this time. As the city kept expanding in size and the population kept increasing. All right, that's pretty good.
Yep.
Well done, Max. I'm very impressed with that. I can see that you've put in all of the hard work that's necessary. Now let's quickly go on to the next one, students. This one here. This is a little bit of what you might call Australian Chinese. This comes from what they call the SBS 中文 little sort of site, and you can see it's a little story about people in Australia. What about you, Lilu? Yeah.
Sorry, Graeme. Can I ask a couple of questions?
Yes.
Yeah. So can you please go back to the first test? In the first sentence, so we have
who's this I'm talking to at the moment?
Iris.
Who?
Iris is talking. Iris.
Iris. Oh, that's you. Okay, Iris.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And so in the first sentence, so we have a word is 等方面.
Yes, 等方面, yeah.
Yeah. So should we translate 等 into English? So for example, and so forth, etc., or and so on, something.
That's a very good question. Now, the word 等 we have to translate, but the word 方面 we don't. 方面 is like a measure word. You see, it's like a 量词, and often we can leave the 量词 out because they're already covered, elsewhere, in English by, plurals and other things. So what we're going to do here is 等方面的因素, right? So we're going to say factors. Now the 等 here becomes such as, right? Factors such as, the climate and the water resources. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, that 等 becomes a sort of like a little such as you're going backwards. You see, factors such as, or, factors including, but such as is better, you see. We don't want to say etc. or and so on because they're not properly used in English that way. So it's better to go backwards and say, such as, yeah. So what other question have you got?
Okay, yeah, second, thank you for answering my question. So then the second question would be in the second sentence. So it's 古渡口.
Ah, yes, 古渡口,
yeah,
yes.
So I heard a word is river crossing.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's 古渡口. So yeah, that's old or ancient.
Ancient, yeah.
Yeah, and 渡口, can we say, for example, Oxford, the ford or ferry?
It could be a ferry or it could be a ford. I think, 渡, 渡 really means to cross, doesn't it? So I would just say crossing, the river crossing. It must be like a little narrow place. People could probably, catch a boat across or maybe walk across or something like that. So we just say the ancient crossing, you see, the ancient crossing on the Yongding River.
Okay, cool. So we normally don't use ford or ferry.
Well, it could be a ferry crossing, you know what I mean? But a ferry is 渡船,
Yeah.
But 渡 itself just means to cross, to go across, isn't it? The 渡口. So just stick with crossing, I think is the best one.
Okay, so you mean in this context?
In this context, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Graeme.
All right. Any other
Yeah.
questions?
No more. Thank you.
All
Go
right,
ahead,
that's
please.
it.
Thanks.
All right, let's go on then. Let's see who might is Yinghu there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Come on then, Yinghu. Why don't you and I have a little try at this one together?
First, I have questions. If the very first is actually title or is actually the very first sentence for this news?
It looks like the title to
Okay.
me, I think. Yeah, it looks like the title in a little
Okay.
news article. Yeah.
Because I prepared two ways. First,
But Adelaide, I thought Graeme asked Yinghu.
Yinghu,
oh,
yes.
sorry.
Yes,
Yes, Yinghu.
because we want to give everyone a chance to
All right.
talk during the.
All right.
I
Sorry.
thought I
Come
was
around
talking.
later again.
I
to
thought I
you
was
on-
talking to Yinghu. Are you there, Yinghu? Yinghu, are you there? How strange. She's not answering. Oh, well, never mind. We'll come back. What about you, Miao Yu? Sabrina, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Come on, let's you and I do this one. Then. Come on.
Let's do this together. I guess the subject is Marigold's restaurant. So Marigold restaurant, one
Oh
of
no,
the
do the little title up the top first. We might as well.
oh sorry, I thought we had
Oh yes, that's right. Of course, that is the Marigold restaurant. Yeah.
yeah. So Marigold restaurant, one of the largest restaurant in Sydney's Chinatown, has announced that it will close its 39-year business next month.
That's really great. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's
Oh.
right. That's
Okay.
exactly right. Yeah. So I think you got everything right there. You just say it again for us, so we can concentrate this time.
Okay. Marigold restaurant, one of the largest restaurant in Sydney's Chinatown, has announced that it will close its 39-year business next month.
Yes, that's right. It's 39-year business. In English, it will sound something like that. It will close 39 years of business. You know what I mean? Yeah, something like that. 39 years of business next month. All right, that's pretty good. Don't forget, in English, you have to put the on the Marigold restaurant. It becomes definite because it has a name. The Marigold restaurant, one of the biggest restaurants in Sydney's Chinatown, has announced it will close 39 years of business next month. All right, that's good. Come on, Sabrina, we'll still keep on working together.
Okay. So I guess the subject in this sentence should be a closing notice.
I think it must be, yes, that's right.
Was posted on the Marigold restaurant's website on Sunday night, so 31st of October. So
Yes,
yeah,
that's good. Yes, that's right. This is very interesting here because we've got, yeah, that's right, the website, and then the date, and then look at the end of the sentence there. 1, right, in the evening, and then we've got, what's this, 张贴, isn't it? 结业启示. So there's no subject there. So what that means is that it's passive. It's 被动式, you see? So we say the notice, isn't it? The closure notice, or the notice of closing was posted. That's right. That's what you said. You're so clever. You say it again for us now so we can listen to it.
Yeah. A closing notice was posted on the Marigold restaurant's website on Sunday night, 31st of October.
Yes, that's very good. Well, why don't we have another sentence together, Sabrina, seeing as you're doing so well?
Oh, thank you. So 启示, the announcement said.
Yes, that's right.
that the restaurant will or would close. But what's the meaning of 茶室? Is it tea market?
Oh, in Sydney, we tend to use the word yum cha, you know?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when yum cha finishes on that day, yes.
Yeah, Yum Cha market. So did the announcement say that the restaurant would close after Yum Cha market on the 5th of December? As the COVID had hit its like banquet and the daily business.
Yes, that's right.
And
also,
yeah, and also because of the planned expansion of the building in which it is located.
Yes, that's right. Yes, the building they were in, all right? Try the Anglo-Saxon way, because the building they were in was planning to, what is it? Quadgen expand, is it?
Yeah.
All right, not too bad. So let me see if I can say that to you and you tell me if I've got it right. So what is it? The announcement said that they would close business after Yum Cha on the 5th of December. The restaurant, of course, would close. That's the subject, isn't it? The restaurant would close business after Yum Cha on the 5th of December because COVID had, what did you use there? What word did you use?
I used a heat. It was,
yes. Yeah, so because the COVID had hit their banqueting and daily business, and also the building they were in was planning to expand. All right, so that's that hit. It's a little bit funny there, isn't it? We can't sort of quite, because COVID had hit. Oh, well, let's just leave it as this. You know, you can put it around in the passive, you know, because its business had been hit by COVID. You know, it sounds a bit better maybe. Anyway, that's all pretty good. What about you, Ying Hu? Are you there now? Ying Hu? Can't seem to get Ying Hu to. What about Nilu? Nilu? Oh, Nilu's gone. Well, come on back to you again, Zoe. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, come on, let's do the next little bit.
Let me try. In the past 39 years, we were honored to be able to provide service to people from Sydney and visitors from other states and overseas, including many people. How do I say this part? Oh, among many of whom became our friends already.
Yes, that's right. All right, very good. Let's just go back to the beginning now. Who am I talking to? This is Zoe, isn't it? Now, you see the first bit,
Yes.
That's the time phrase. That's got to come later on, right? So
put them, okay.
Yeah, so we have.
We were honored. We were honored.
We have proudly served.
We have proudly served people from Sydney.
Interstate.
I didn't get you this part. Interstate.
Interstate.
Oh, interstate.
Right. Yeah.
People from Sydney, interstate, and overseas.
Yes, that's right. Oh, I see. So we've proudly served Sydney people, isn't it? And Yorker, they must be tourists, aren't they, or travellers from interstate and overseas. And now, Guochu.
In the past 39 years.
for the past 39 years. That's
over
right.
over.
Just for the past 39 years. So here we can
for the
say,
past.
yeah, you see the verb here, full, isn't it? Now, because we've got for
yeah.
yeah, the verb is going to be we have been proudly serving for the past 39 years. So do you want to say that with me? Come on. We have been proudly serving.
Serving Sydney
people. And
interstate.
Travelers.
Travelers from interstate and overseas.
Yes, that's right. For
the past 39 years.
39 years. Now, and many of them, right? Many of them
have.
Yes, have. That's right. Yijing, we make into have become our friends.
Our friends, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. All right, that's not too bad. Let's see if somebody else is here. Let me see if I can get somebody else. All right, you come on, you do the next little bit too.
Okay.
So, 客户的子孙与我们一起成长，并在
里程碑式的 I don't know how to translate this. 里程碑式的
I think that must be like what's a 里程碑? Is it like a
milestone celebration?
A milestone, yes, milestone events or milestone celebrations.
Milestone celebrating events.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. So.
客户的子孙.
Is a descendants of our clients or?
I think it's more like the children, isn't it? The children and
the children.
Yeah.
So the children of our client. What verb tense here?
have
grown up with us.
That's right. Yeah. And
held their milestone celebrating events in our not banquet
in our dining
banquet
room.
Halls.
Oh, just in our dining room, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's very good.
So
You've
held,
done very well.
Yeah, held there. Yeah, okay.
Well, you might as well do the last bit now.
Okay. We also served the enterprise and then community associations.
That's right.
And also witnessed their achievement.
And witnessed their achievements. That's right. So we have also served businesses and community associations, and we have observed their, their success, I suppose. Yeah. All right, let's carry on then. You have a little rest now, and I'll see if I can get somebody else to join me.
Graeme, I think you can invite JS because he's quite active.
Who's that?
JS. Did you see him? JS, are you there?
It's her.
Oh, her. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah. So
yes, thanks for volunteering me. I was about to be positive.
Sorry, JS. I couldn't see you up there. You're right up at the top of the screen. All right, come on, JS. You have a go at this bit.
I was hoping to, I guess, hide a second time, but all right. The family-run Marigold restaurant opened in 1982. During its time, it has witnessed waves of immigration from Hong Kong and mainland China, and became the designated function venue for many Chinese community groups.
Wow, gee, that's good. That's 10 out of 10 for that. Say it again for us a little bit more slowly so we can follow you.
Right. The family-run Marigold restaurant opened in 1982.
Very good.
During its time, it has witnessed waves of immigration from Hong Kong and mainland China, and became the designated function venue for many Chinese community groups.
That's right. But where does this "during this time" come from? I can't see that anywhere.
Sorry, it was my link.
Your insertion, right? That's
my
right.
insertion.
Okay, so the Marigold restaurant, blah, 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 opened it this year and
it has witnessed.
Just say has witnessed. Yeah, that's right. And has witnessed. Now, what is it?
Waves of immigration.
Waves of immigration. That's right. Waves of immigration from Hong Kong and the Chinese mainland. And
became the designated function venue for many.
Stick to the Chinese grammar. So you've got Bushao, Hua, and many, what is it? Many.
And became many Chinese community groups designated function venue.
I suppose so. Yeah, sure.
I had it the other way around.
Bushao, Hua, and Shetuan, Jiban. Oh, yes. Oh, I get it. Yes, it should start here, Juding Jiulo, and it is the designated restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, start there.
It actually says 举办宴会, so it's not just the restaurant, but where it holds its functions or banquets.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, what I want to say is, and it is the designated restaurant where many Chinese associations hold their banquets.
Yep.
You see that D there? That becomes where. So, and it is the designated restaurant where many Chinese associations hold their banquets. All right, very good. So why don't we go back up to the top now? Come on, you stay with me, will you, JS? And we'll see if you can do us a translation right from the top.
Yeah. The Marigold restaurant, one of the largest restaurants in Sydney's Chinatown, has announced that it will close down next month after 39 years of operation.
Very good.
The closing notice was posted on the Marigold restaurant's website on Sunday, October 31st.
Very good.
The announcement states that the restaurant will close after the morning tea service on December 5th, or you can say morning yum cha service.
Yeah, morning yum cha service, yeah.
The closure is due to impacts of COVID-19 on the restaurant's banquet and daily business, as well as plans to extend the building where the restaurant is located.
Okay, that's very good. Gee, wow, are you a professional translator, JS?
I passed my exam last year.
What's your NATI test?
Not yet, but I'm a bilingual Chinese and English speaker.
I can see that. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Well, carry on then. Do the next little bit for us.
Okay. We have been proudly serving Sydney-siders as well as interstate and overseas travelers over the past 39 years.
Very good.
Many of whom have become our friends. Our clients' children and grandchildren have grown up with us and often chose to hold their milestone celebrations with us at the restaurant.
Very good, yes.
We have also served many businesses and community organizations while attesting to their successes.
Not attesting, testing's a little bit too high. Just go down to witnessing and witnessed while witnessing their...
And witnessed while witnessing their achievements or successes.
Yes, that's right.
And the family-run Marigold restaurant opened in 1982, and it had witnessed waves of immigration from Hong Kong and mainland China, and became the designated restaurant where many Chinese community groups hold their banquets.
Yes, that's great. All right, very well done. All right, well, we've come to the end now. So thank you, everybody. And I hope you enjoyed going through those translations with me.
Thank you very much, Graeme. I think people learnt a lot, and we'll look forward to a third session. I think because we've spent quite a lot of time today on the translations, we'll end it here and we'll leave any questions for the next session.
All right.
Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for participating. If you have questions, you can always put them in the group, of course.
All right, thanks everybody, and I hope we'll get together again soon.
Yeah, thank you, Graeme. Thank you for the perfect presentation. Thanks.
Right,
have a good night.
Good night.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, David. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Tammy.
To learn. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.